Okay. Hello, everyone. I need to switch over the stream view to a different view. Give me a second. But we are back with some log reviews. I
Well,
believe the
hello.
I believe the plan for today is to do two log reviews instead of one log review uh, and then a real-time draft. We're going to start off with one of my logs and then move to one of Ryan's logs. Let me just
We're eating our vegetables twice today.
I love vegetables. Unironically, I
Yum
do
yum.
love vegetables. Yeah, okay. It might actually be better for me to not have that overlap. Sorry, I'm currently playing a little with the formatting of the stream, like the layout. Maybe that's better.
Yeah, take your time.
No, that looks kind of weird. Whatever. I'll reset it. Anyways, shall we just jump into it? I guess do you think you need reintroduction?
Uh, sure. Very briefly, I'm Ryan. I'm a Sanctum teammate of Jason's. I have wanted to incorporate more draft log reviews into our process for these pro tours. We have a set that has a long lead up time to a pro tour, and I thought it would be a cool idea to just incorporate a weekly routine where we stream our draft log reviews. So that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
That's the
In
quick recap
case.
for people who haven't been here last time.
Yeah, yeah. In case you missed it last time. No. Regular joint exploration with me and CFT is no longer a regular thing, though, still some special appearances may happen. Ryan and I are trying this perhaps weekly thing. 2 points make a line, so it's weekly now.
We can statistically infer.
Anyways, shall we jump in?
Yeah, let's do it.
So, this is my draft, so I like vaguely know what's happening already. And what's the? Is it like Alt? I forget what the button is to like show the pick. Maybe oh, there
I
it
believe you
is.
just click on the green thing.
Oh, okay, I think if
That's
you
what I was
hold
doing last time.
Control, if you press Control, it'll also show it, but it'll also show the future pick, which I don't like. Um,
Yeah,
anyways,
I definitely
okay.
don't like seeing what wheeled already.
Yeah. You don't know anything. Okay. So what would you pick out of this pack?
This is a pack. This is one of those packs in the format, especially early in a lot of formats, but I've even been finding in this format in particular. I feel like I could take any one of like six cards to start this draft and feel not like confident I made the right choice, but confident that I made a choice that could lead me in a good direction. So I guess what jumps to my eyes immediately, the rare and the two, actually all three uncommons, might form Harmonizer. It doesn't
Uh,
seem like a great rare to me,
are you
but it
aware
has good
that
stats right now.
are you aware that the greenhouse is also an uncommon? So there's actually four uncommons.
Oh, I see. The first three uncommons is what I meant. I'm not as high on the greenhouse as I am on the other ones,
Yeah, I
although
don't like the
it's
greenhouse very
maybe
much.
decent. Yeah. Definitely not on the level of the other ones that we're seeing. So my form I know is really good, even though it didn't stand out to me originally when I was looking at the rares in the set, but it's been impressive and I think has good stats. Starfield Shepherd is just a really sweet like card advantage, uncommon. It'll just be like very good for you in every game, even if it won't run away with the game on its own. Telegraph Ship, probably the least excited I am of the three uncommons that we're looking at, but still a good card. I've heard other people have had positive experiences with it. Territorial Bruntar, the red six drop, I am probably a little too high on because it feels like you just resolve that card, and if it doesn't get killed, you like can very easily just grind them out and win. It stalls the board so much that you just get to draw a bunch of cards with it. Um, and then outside of that, Focus Fire, Grav Kill, and Pinnacle Kill Ship are like commons that are on my radar for pack one, pick oneing. Probably not the Kill Ship, probably not the Grav Kill, but Focus Fire I felt like is just so efficient that it is kind of premium. Um, I would probably take like Starfield Shepherd out of this pack. It feels like the most consistent power. That or the Harmonizer. are kind of where my eyes are going. Maybe focus fire if you're just like really high on efficient removal. But I think like game breaking effects like doubling something's power or card advantage that you just get every time with like a really strong rate uncommon are probably more premium than like good common removal. So yeah, I think I'd probably take Starfield Shepherd, but I'm really not sure what I'd do here.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna level with you. I think that the pick I chose out of this pack, I intentionally chose the one that I was least sure about to gather more data. Or like
That's definitely something that we do early in formats that
yeah,
isn't great for content. But
I chose the one that seems okay, like out of these four, which were the ones that like definitely caught my eye, plus Focus Fire. I chose the one that I was like, I felt the weirdness about, notably the spacecraft, because I still don't have a
yeah,
super good handle on like space like how spacecraft work in this format. That said, if I were like at the PT picking, or like picking very seriously and not like with the goal of generating data, one one problem I have with Might Form Harmonizer is that it's green, but the green decks I play don't want it. Like this is definitely
isn't
an
it won't even play it?
oversimplification. Like I mean, I would play it in the green decks in like the green soup decks, but I think I'm very, very willing to cut it in green soup.
Hmm.
Like,
And is that because it's essentially just like super answerable and not gonna be like card advantage or helping you smooth out and be consistent?
yeah, and like also the thing that Might Form Harmonizer plays well with is like the other like stompy green threats with like high power, right? Like the 3 mana 4/2, which I personally don't like, but apparently has good stats, or like the 4 mana 4/4 trample, right? Like
Hmm.
it plays especially well with that one, right? And I already don't really care about putting those kinds of cards in my soup decks that much because like I just don't want to play a bunch of like 4 mana large creature that can just get removed, and like doesn't really generate a like tangible card advantage, right? And like
Yeah.
obviously, I think that there is definitely like lots of strength in that like stompy green like space, right? It's just not where most of the green decks I've been drafting have gone. So, I guess
Yeah,
that's my
interestingly,
hesitation.
I think that's why green has pretty good like best of one game in hand win rate stats in this format is because the creatures are just big and getting on board early and having lots of stats feels like a very strong strategy in this format. Um, but I see what you're saying of like it's not exactly doing things that are structurally important for soup, which is the kind of green deck you've been liking.
Yeah, I've also definitely just like played this card and been disappointed by like it's very good when you're like ahead on board, like when you have other things on board and you're like attacking. But when you're not, it kind of is just a 4 mana 4/4, which is fine. 4 mana 4/4 is fine, you know. But yeah,
Yeah, I think like getting ahead on board is so important in this format. So a card that doesn't help you get ahead, but just closes when you're ahead, like the rest of the format sort of already does that for you, has been my experience. Not that the card isn't good. I think like ways to, the stats are fine. It's totally a good part of like a normal curve out that will get you ahead on board. But it's not like actively good at doing that compared to other cards like Focus Fire, for example, which is just a way to affect the board so much for 1 mana that you get ahead really quickly. Um, yeah. Oh, so what would you take? You would take the Shepherd probably if you were at the PT.
uh, if you had to force me to make a decision right now, I
I
would
am.
probably take the Bruntar.
Gotcha. Okay.
I
Maybe
don't.
maybe I'm not too high on that card after all. Maybe
This
I
is
shouldn't change.
this is just vibes, like
They're all very close.
yeah. Mostly like the Bruntar draws cards, like, you know me. I want
Hey,
to
so
draw
does the
cards.
Shepherd. Production.
Anyways, it's not worth it's not worth dwelling too long on this. Like,
Yeah,
we
we
will,
took a good uncommon.
yeah. We have a fell graph ship now. Great.
Good.
Next up, what do you follow that
Uh,
up with here?
yeah, there is a lot in this pack, but not a lot of it that's like super impressive. So I haven't really been able to make Mono as the Century work incredibly well because I'm just pretty hesitant to put like a lot of ships in most of my decks. We did just start out with a ship, so that is kind of the like
True.
most coherent pick. Um, Virus Beetle is a black common I like a lot, and I probably like it a little bit better than the Prospector. It's just really nice glue for a lot of decks. Command Bridge is certainly what Jason might take if I had to guess as like a soup direction. There's like some other good cards here. I'm pretty low on the Pinnacle, Star Cage, the temporary lockdown, basically. Although maybe I should try it more because it's a rare and you don't get a lot of opportunities to try rares. I'm not taking it here. Diplomatic Relations is fine. Selfcraft Mechan is like fine, but I've felt like you need to work pretty hard to make it actively good. So for me, I think this is a somewhat easy Virus Beetle, but I could see someone taking like Command Bridge or Diplomatic Relations. That's where I'm at.
Let's see if I remembered correctly what I picked. Yeah, I did.
Yep, there we go.
um, yeah, I might be too low on Virus Beetle, or not too low.
It's good
I,
in soup decks.
no, it's not. Anyway, I might be too low. I might be too low on the concept of two color decks. Um,
Uh-huh.
who knows? Who knows? Really, anything could be the case. I guess like, hmm. Okay, if this command bridge were like in Evolving Wilds in the normal set, like, would you take Virus Beetle? Like, is the degree to which you like Virus Beetle in this set like more than a normal Evolving Wilds?
I think no. And we were talking about this in the Discord earlier today, where Command Bridge is in this interesting space where like the two color deck's mana is bad, but Command Bridge is just awkward enough where you're not totally sure if you want to play it to fix the two color deck's mana. But it is really, really worth it if you're in this like soupy space and you're kind of maximizing the five color nature of it and using all the sources that it provides. Um, I'm not that high on Virus Beetle, to be clear. Like I think it's good glue is how I put it earlier. And I think it feels like that to me, where it's part of like a kind of strong deck that is just doing a lot with its rectangles and has a really nice way to like use a 2-drop to just sort of drain some resources from the opponent and continue building its own engine. But
Yeah.
mainly, this is just not a very strong pack. Like, I don't think there's anything really great here. So, if you have a strong preference for soup and you're looking at this weak pack and you don't want whatever you take to influence you too much, you can just be like, I'm going to pick up this command bridge because I know that I'm going to probably want it in my final deck. And that seems like what you're doing here. And I don't think that's like terribly wrong or anything.
Yeah, like the thing is, like, if this were like Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, I would slam the Virus Beetle. But for some reason, I just like haven't been impressed by like my opponent's Virus Beetles in this set. So like, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe you need to use them on your own to be impressed with them because I
Yeah.
think you would find ways to use them. But I agree. I don't think it's amazing. I've mainly just had like one soup deck where they were notably very good, but that could have been like an anomaly.
Anyways, moving on. We now have a command bridge. What would you like to take out of this pack? Fluctuating back
Ooh,
and forth
boy.
between bangers and duds.
Yeah, really. Honestly, I think either of the two cards I want to take out of this pack are better than both cards we currently have. It's the Lightsmith or the Tractor Beam for me. Those are just like really, really strong uncommons. I'm looking at the Focus Fire, but I don't think I'm in love with it enough to take it over like a really good uncommon card engine or just like premium-ish removal spell that can kind of win games on its own if it actually does the mind control thing. I like Lightsmith. I think single pit matters if we've already taken a command bridge and are kind of going in that very like splashy direction. Yeah, I think I take like Lightsmith here.
If you had a Virus Beetle, would that change anything?
I don't think so. Yeah, like I would just be prioritizing the strongest cards, right? Because this is basically like if this was our first pick, how would we draft? And we would be drafting around our first pick.
Yeah, I think so. Tractor Beam has higher stats. I will note. I kind of don't trust that over Lightsmith, but I don't know. I'm really high on Lightsmith personally. I think it is like one of the best uncommons in the set, probably.
I
But
agree. Yeah, I've just found lots of ways to use it, and like it's a little bit fragile, a little bit slow, but if you can get it going, it's so hard to lose. And I bet it's
anyways,
gameplay related too. People just slam it on turn 4 instead of like going turn 5, hit +1 drop.
yeah. My page is not broken, despite the first card not changing.
What do you think we'll take here?
Yeah, it's Lightsmith.
Just having two of those is such a nice like engine because you can just pick up like a bunch of cheap interaction and then play that. You have a command bridge, which actually weirdly I think synergizes well with Lightsmith in this format because you just pick up the cheap removal of any color and then you just like know you'll have a Lightsmith on turn 4 or 5 in most games, and that can kind of provide the like engine part of your deck.
Mhm. Yeah, so I want at this point I would like to caveat that you might have looked at the top left corner and noticed that this is a 3-0 draft that we are looking at the draft log for. This deck ended up very strong, but I took it in a very specific direction where I think like I'm not sure if it was the right direction, and I think there was probably a different direction you could take it down. As you might predict, this is the more soupy direction that I took it down. And I think that like most directions you could have taken would have done very well because of these two Lightsmiths and just like overall having like pretty good card quality. But I'm just curious like whether like Ryan here has any like has anything to say about the other direction. I guess that's kind of
Yeah,
the point here.
it's also sort of interesting to think about like how strong a seat can be and whether it's like that you did well in this draft because your seat was just a really good seat or not. And I'm curious to see whether I like agree with that or think that the choices we made feel like they matter a lot. I mean, so far, I think the only really important thing that's happened in this draft is that we've picked up 2 Sunstar Lightsmiths, and
Yep.
like we're just going to build around those. And sure, we have access to the cards we took. We'll pick 1 and 2, but those are much less important to me for like envisioning what direction we're going to go down.
Okay, next up.
Okay. Well, I may be also kind of soup pilled in this format.
Were you the wrong choice for the person to ask about this?
Possibly. I mean, I've been doing really well with it. It is like a distinct archetype. I don't think it's just, a sanctum meme or whatever. Like, I think it really is a thing that you're supposed to be doing in the format a lot. All this is to say, my eyes go towards Sammy's Curiosity. I also think that, like, Seed Ship Impact is a very strong card, although it is kind of in a third color. Even Sammy's Curiosity is too, but it's sort of not because it's in like the base screen space and fixes us. You could take Embrace Oblivion. I don't think any of the other white or black cards are strong enough to make me like actively want to go toward them. We're really alternating between like bangers and stinkers here.
Okay, I have a
Because this
question for
is
you.
not very strong.
I have a
Mhm.
question for you. So, given our current position, you mentioned looking at Sammy's Curiosity, Impact, Embrace Oblivion, and not being that interested in the other like black and white cards. Now imagine if this command bridge was a virus beetle. Does that change your opinions?
It probably does. Yeah, I think I'm leaning closer to the Embrace Oblivion here.
Okay.
Because I think you can build a pretty coherent black-white deck that just has rectangles that it can use the Embrace Oblivions as premium removal. It can use the Lightsmiths as like a way to fix the typical issue with black-white, which is just that it's not great at like grinding. It can kind of 1-for-1 really effectively, but doesn't often produce large advantages. Yeah, I think it would affect for sure like what I'm considering.
Okay. What if the graph ship were? What if the graph ship was like the Bruntar.
Yeah. I think that leans me even more toward the curiosity
Hmm.
because we're just trying, like, I think we need to do something weird and big, probably. Um, oh, good luck, CFT, playing against Julian
Thank you,
Rodriguez in the
MTG
challenge. um, yeah, I don't really know. I mean, even if we're thinking about going soup here, I think Sea Chip Impact is like a better card than Sammy's Curiosity. I don't even love Curiosity in a lot of these soup decks.
Hey, you take that
Pollinator,
back.
so much
Sorry.
better. I do think like Gene Pollinator is a much better way to get your fixing going early, but Siege of Impact has been very impressive, and I think I've been underrating it so far. The thing is, though, that like you kind of want, if you're going into green after not having many green cards to start, taking a non-fixing green card is a little bit weird because you're only going to be able to successfully be in green if you get enough fixing in it to like play with the cards you've already drafted. So yeah, I'm really not sure what the quote unquote right pick here is. I don't know if there is a right pick.
Well, I picked Sea Chip Impact. So I was going. To, I like. I was hovering over Sammy's Curiosity for a long time because of all the reasons you said, and then I had the thought. I've heard Sea Chip Impact is a very strong card. I should try it, and then I didn't really
Yeah,
draw it. Also, I justified it
science
by
is
the
a good
fact
enough
that
reason.
like my plan with taking Sea Chip Impact was to cast it on turn two, targeting my opponent's like 2 mana or less thing and make a lander. So it was a fixer, clearly.
So as long as we can psyop ourselves into thinking it's fixing, we can make the right pick.
Exactly.
Got
Exactly.
it.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. This is like part of what the like start that I was like really interested in because like I do think that I think the most interesting part to me is the fact that like if you take a virus beetle here, then like it feels a lot cleaner to take Embrace
That's a big
Oblivion
change of
here.
the draft. Yeah, I
But
agree.
I'm not sure if that's better. So
Well, I think it's definitely like lower risk for someone who isn't already very good at drafting soup. I
I
don't
have
know if
a
that means it's better, but it is certainly like a um, less high skill to pull off maneuver, is how I would put it.
I have a theory though. My theory is that if you take like Fell Graveship into Virus Beetle and then you go Lightsmith, and see this pack, you're supposed to still take a green card.
Maybe
Um,
you are.
well, okay, so this is what my theory is. And this was the theory that partially like drove like my path through this draft. My theory is that Lightsmith is a very, very good green card. Like much better than it is like other color card because like it's much easier to double spell when you like just have access to more mana and also have access to more like random cheap cards of like cheap removal spells in various colors. Right? There's a bunch of them. Right? Like you can get Embrace Oblivions pretty late. You obviously want to pick like Cryo Shadow is a very strong card. Like there's just a bunch of random like 1 mana removal spells in the set across all the colors.
Right.
And like it, part of why I'm like pursued green so much in this draft was because I had the thought with these two lightsmiths I want to have access to more colors and more mana development that and therefore like make my lightsmiths better. And the lightsmiths felt extremely strong because of that. And I do feel like they would have felt meaningfully worse without that. Like I played a lot of lightsmiths like that like the first turn I played them they drew a card and they drew a card every single turn after and I feel like normal two color decks don't do that well.
That makes sense. I could see that being true. That's definitely a theory that's worth like keeping an eye on as we keep drafting this format because it's a very like subtle thing that you would not really notice if you weren't paying attention to. I've had Lightsmiths be obviously like very, very strong in two color decks, and I've had them be very, very, very strong in soup decks. I think that's pretty coherent though. Uh, Maybe in black white specifically, I would say they're like quite valuable because they do
Mhm.
solve that black white problem. I guess green white has like the counters thing. Blue white theme is double spelling. And then what was the last one? Red white. They're like probably a little bit worse than red white because you don't have ways to like keep churning through cards.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think they're just going to be really good, and I would probably not index on that too hard because I'd just be more like, what is the right deck to draft for my seat? It's quite possible that a siege pack comes in pick 5, and green is also being drafted in like the seats next to us.
Oh, to
Not
be
that I'm
clear,
saying
I
I'm
completely
like,
expect green to be being like drafted in the
oh, I
seats
know.
next to us.
I know you
I
do.
don't care.
I know you're willing to fight, right? And that's valid too. I'm just saying that I think like I don't think it's more about how strongly you weigh your hypothesis of Lightsmith being better. Partially you're doing it for science, partially you have like a preference for soup, partially we maybe think that like Siege of Impact is just a stronger card than Embrace Oblivion and want to like hedge our bets as to where we're going in this draft and not just be like, oh yeah, we're seeing black and white cards. Let's dive into that direction. Um, yeah, one thing I kind of strongly think is that like this is a pretty weak pack overall, and so one thing I really am a big fan of philosophically is not over indexing on whatever card you take out of a weak pack for like the direction you're going into in a draft. I like taking a high upside pick that might not even make our deck if we just feel like black white is super super open from here on out and we never go in the soup direction, but will be very strong if we do end up in like the soup space. And I also like the like taking it for science over the curiosity that you are more sure you like in this kind of deck.
Yeah, but we're not here to discuss the science. We're here to find different lines.
You could say this pick was Jason's curiosity.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, indeed. Um, okay, well, next pack.
We're going banger, stinker, banger. Focus Fire is great. I've already like considered first picking it. There's some other really strong cards in this pack, but yeah, I'm very happy with Focus Fire. It's like not obviously amazing with Lightsmith, but you can usually find a way to do it on the turn you play Lightsmith.
Yeah, I've definitely at some point in this draft went turn 5, play Lightsmith, make a somewhat suspicious attack with my one open mana.
That's one that you'll get away with on Arena that you might not get away with elsewhere. um, yeah, and probably just as the format goes on will be more obvious and telegraphed, but like still you can it just lets you make that attack, and then if they can't block, that's just still kind of good for you.
Yeah,
And
to be
you
clear, I
still
don't
have,
think
like,
I don't think I got away with it. And I don't think my opponent actually took the bait.
right. Yeah.
But
I think it's just the strongest card in this pack. It synergizes pretty well with what we already have. I like a lot of the other cards here, like reroute systems. I think maybe a little bit underrated, or just like it doesn't read as super strong. But using one mana to have a large board impact is pretty nice. The white removal spell I like. The Father's Faithful is good. I've
I
been
think
like
Father's Faithful is
a
probably the
little
best
low
card
on
in this
the spell.
pack. I think I'm higher on Father's Faithful as a generic card than Focus Fire.
Interesting. Okay, I've been like slightly low on it because the 3/1 body is a little bit stinky.
It's just so flexible,
But
though. Like, you can use it to kill people.
it is. It is. Yeah. Maybe I've just had it in like bad-ish two-color decks that didn't have a lot of fodder to draw cards with.
Yeah, maybe. Um,
Anyway, Focus Fire I think is clearly the pick.
I would like reroute systems a lot more if it gave hexproof. I think at least 3 times so far this set, I've had someone cast reroute systems in response to an exile removal spell I was pointing at their creature.
Ooh, dang. I might be moving you down on it.
Maybe. But like, okay. Also, there's also the green one that doesn't give hexproof, like the Gaia's gift that isn't Gaia's gift, or whatever it's called. And I fell for that one once. I thought it gave hexproof and got. So I have a vendetta against these combat tricks, is what I'm saying, and so you can't trust my opinion.
Understandable. My main read on it is like I'm scared of it a lot, so it has to be at least like somewhat valuable. But I agree, it's not like premium by any
Yeah.
means. I just like affecting the board for one mana in this format. Speaking of,
Wow.
um,
Cryo Shatter. Banger common Cryo Shatter. Also known
now
as.
that one is the clear, easy like follow up with a Sunstar Lightsmith on turn 5 or 4 if you have like Gene. Um,
What Swords to Plowshares esque nickname would you give this? Swords to Ice Shares? No, that's like not that good.
uh, the blue swords to plowshares is like the meme that exists already. I feel like we've gotten plenty of them, and this certainly fits like the
Hmm.
description.
Yeah.
I'm
Um.
really high on Cryo Shatter. You could take an orbital plunge. I guess you could take a command bridge, but you never really want like 3 command bridges, and so picking up the second one feels unnecessary. I feel like we'll see another
Yeah. There's
in a
no
pack
shot.
that is less with a less high leverage card than Cryo Shatter.
Yeah, no shot we're taking anything other than this. So I still kind of want to track our like white black path, which would have been like Graph Ship, Beetle, Lightsmith, the Bone Splinters, and then Faller's Faithful probably. And then
Faller's Faithful. Which one's that? Oh, the 3-1.
the third one,
Yeah.
yeah. We could still take Focus Fire, but I honestly think
I
Faller's
honestly
Faithful
might have
is
taken Focus Fire, but I might be too low on the Faithful.
fair enough.
And then, yeah, there, let's say we get here and we're still in that black white path. I mean, I might just still take Cryo Shatter. Like, we have 2 Lightsmiths. You can splash
Yeah,
it.
yeah, especially if you took Focus Fire, so you have like more focus in white, as opposed to like spread out between white and black a little more. I mean, there's also these two black cards, and you could take the command bridge anyways, like your first command bridge. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think it definitely becomes a weaker pack if you are just
Your options are
with black.
definitely narrower, I would
Yeah,
say, if you've gone down the black white direction. Not a whole lot in this pack. I'd probably just take like the white 2-drop, maybe the Lost in Space. I know you're higher on that than I am. I still haven't actually put it in a deck yet. I need to do that.
yeah. I mostly am higher on this card than you are. White black direction probably takes Beckner.
I agree. Well, actually, I might still take the 2-drop. I don't know. I like casting 2-drops on 2 in this format.
I've been pretty impressed by Beckoner though.
Oh, I agree. Yeah. I think Beckoner's like a nice 5-drop. I like it a lot. There's a lot of synergy stuff to do with it, and it's also just kind of worth it on its rate. It just pushes a ton of damage and is a large thing to cast. Huh. Yeah. I happen to remember what you took because we did the like whole
Oh
control
right,
thing.
right.
I do agree. I do agree that Kill Ship is like the highest upside card here. I think having access to like 1 to 2 kill ships can just be a deck's entire late game, more or less. And yeah, just like having that is really nice. This was a very strong pack, as you can see with all the cards that got taken out of it, and there
Yeah,
still being a bunch of strong cards. But we don't exactly know like what colors we're going to be based in yet, and so I don't think that I would want to take any of the like medium other like cheap cards. I would just want to take a card that I'm pretty sure is going to make my final deck and going to add like a dimension to it that is it's easy to pick up, but you need to like do it at some point.
yeah. And even in black white, I don't think you would pick the drone here.
I agree. Yeah.
Um, and I guess in
Hmm.
black white you would take the sentry with like two
Yeah.
spacecraft.
I think
I
we
guess
might still.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
because
took it
like we have 2
anyways.
ships. We have
Yeah.
like more ships than I'm used to having at the end of pack 1, so
Oh,
it's
mostly I was
possible
thinking
that that.
this card costs 1 mana, which is a noted combination with the card Sunstar Lightsmith.
That too. That too.
And I don't think this matters.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
This kind
That's
of
a nice card.
matters, but like also like this isn't a choice.
Right.
Okay. So yeah, basically the difference here is like we have like a siege ship impact and the command bridge over like some like a black card and a white card or something maybe. Unclear.
Yeah, and it kind of gives us, if we were in the black white direction, we'd have a much more clear idea of like what cards we're looking at and like what cards we're going to be taking out of the next packs. but we have less flexibility in a way. It's unclear if we're going to be able to fit like every single card that's currently in our pool into a final deck, but we don't need to. We have like a lot of high upside stuff.
Yeah.
I'm still not very sure I'm going to be able to end up in green though at the end of this pack. So I'm a little worried that we're not actually going to be able to build soup because we have just like a bunch of cards in the Esper space.
Oh yeah,
I'm
thinking
usually
right
need to be base
now.
green for soup.
I'm thinking right now that I'm most likely to end up in Esper with this like late Alpha Rail. I'm pretty sure that's what I was thinking
Yeah.
at the time.
I agree. Are you ever worried that like if you're in a space that is like base 2 splash 1 or even potentially base 3 and none of those colors are green, like structurally that's really hard to make work in this set, right?
Yeah, I have a command bridge already though. Like it's very hard to make work, but there are ways of making it work. And if you can't make it work, then like I don't know, don't stake too much on it.
Yeah. Like you should be, I think, on the lookout to like, am I going to need to just hard commit to 2 of these colors in the middle of like pack 2?
Yeah. Well, would you like
Here,
to take a 5-color
we have
card?
like one card to take.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
soup, right? No, that card's even probably bad if you can cast it.
Yeah.
Banishing Light's like the best card in the pack. It's in our colors. Seems pretty easy.
Yeah. Okay, here's a more interesting pick.
This is harder. Yeah. Huh. So we're in Esper space, but the 2 strongest cards in this pack, maybe even like the 3 strongest cards, if this was like a pack 1 pick 1, are in Naya. So like I'm looking at Cut Propulsion, the Halia gold card, and the Ice Cave Crasher, the 4/4 trample. At least as like cards that the data likes and are just kind of generically strong. I know you're a little bit lower on the Crasher just as being like pure body for 4 mana that can get killed.
It's not that I'm lower on it. I just like I acknowledge its strength. I just don't draft it very often.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm probably looking at the Beamsaw Prospector here. I feel like that is the most coherent with what we've got going on. It certainly helps us build like a 3-color space deck, and those cards are hard to come by if that's where we're going to end up. It's not the strongest card in the pack, but I don't think it's that far off. Like it's a pretty nice card, so that's what I'm leaning towards, I think.
Okay, hear me out. I would like a third copy of Lightsmith. That's what I was thinking when I took this card. I don't know whether that's reasonable, but
so maybe I need to play with that card more. I honestly didn't even scan it.
To be clear,
clunky.
I have yet to cast this card. I have no
stats after this draft.
Yeah, stats hate it.
Yeah, I think the stats are probably right on this one. It's just like bad rate to me.
It takes too long to come online.
And even then, yeah.
But I was thinking if there was any deck to make it work, it would be a deck with 2 Sunstar Lightsmiths.
Sure, fair enough. Yeah, I think that's like because it just lets you slam it on turn 4 without much worry.
And then your opponent kills it, and then you go like scrounge, play a 2-drop. You know.
What would you take out of this pack if that card weren't there? Or if you like knew it was bad?
Probably Beamsaw. I think I was looking at Beamsaw. Like you could make an argument for Halia if you wanted to really like force the green issue, but like I don't think you have that much reason to force the green issue.
I agree. We don't have like green fixing really yet, despite the psyop of Sea Chip Impact being fixing.
Yeah, I'm not really that attached to green right now.
Yep.
Don't worry. The website did not break. Those are the same 2 cards.
Wow. Huh. This is also like a really tough pick because none of these cards that we want are good.
I'm gonna level you. I forgot what I took.
Yeah. Okay. Let's both figure out what you took. Huh. Probably you just like cope a little bit with the orbital plunge and just be like, I have a command bridge, I'll pick another one up, and I get to play like the strong card out of this pack. I think if I were trying to be really responsible, which I don't even know it is right because it's so low upside, I might take like Insatiable Skittermaw and just think that I'm building black white.
Did I possibly take Ilvoy Lightjammer as hexproof for Lightsmith? I'm not sure. No, I took the plunge. Okay.
Yeah, we're coping with the plunge. I
Love
like
to
it.
take a
It's
plunge.
just like the strongest card out of the pack by like a lot. So
Yeah, it's kind of a very weak pack.
ooh, all right. Now we're talking.
I don't even know what card
Going
you're looking
into-
at when you say that.
Really? Okay. I think Pinnacle Emissary is kind of sick. Maybe we're not super well set up for it, but like the
Oh, that
warp
wa-
is a
that
one
wasn't
drop
even-
Jason with the Sunstar.
That wasn't even my first guess.
Really? What was your first guess?
But the Scionist or Psionicist.
Interesting.
It's a combination with Lightsmith.
I don't even know if it really is.
Wait, it is. Definitely is.
Well, they both say the words, but do they actually like play pattern wise play well together?
yeah, it makes it easier to like double spell. Like, for
Sure.
example, like if you play it on turn 3, then on 5 you can go like Lightsmith plus 2 or 3 drop.
Yeah, no, that's definitely like the idea. Like you can go Lightsmith plus Banishing Light or whatever. But I guess what I'm kind of thinking is like if you untap with Lightsmith, it's usually pretty easy to double spell based on how you've built your deck. And if you like, you need to like, it's a pretty exact curve for it to actually matter on the turn you cast Lightsmith. So I don't like super think of them as synergizing well together. Maybe I should revise that a little bit.
It's like not actually that easy to actually double spell every single turn.
No, for sure. But like, I feel like if you untap with it, I'm not super worried about the ability to double spell for like that turn when I've
Sure,
untapped.
yeah, you can probably
Maybe
double
that's
spell
wrong.
once. Like it's pretty. Okay,
Yeah.
2-color decks are pretty
And then it's
consistent
more
at
about
like
card flow.
on turn 5 double spelling. The turn after is where it gets a little tricky.
Yeah, that's fair. I think, like auxiliary boosters is a card I really like, but it doesn't feel like our deck needs it. We have a Pinnacle Kill Ship and 2 Lightsmiths for like late game stuff. I think I would just take Pinnacle Emissary here. It's really easy to splash with a command bridge. We don't have a lot of artifacts to really make it work, but it feels just super high upside. I just like that card a lot.
Okay, I haven't played very much with it. It was not really on my radar. I think I took the booster because I wasn't sure what to take out of this pack. Looking back, I kind of like taking a random like 1 or 2 drop better, or the Psionicist. But
Yeah, the Psionicist would make sense, I think. But like, it does make sense why you're not taking it because we're probably base black white and maybe playing base blue, but not clear that we're able to do that yet. And
Yeah.
boosters is just like a nice card.
yeah,
It's not like I would put it in basically every deck.
I mostly wanted to take it because it was white and I was confused.
Fair. Yeah, that's like pretty reasonable. I think I'd probably take like white 2-drop if I'm in white and confused. But you could also take like Chrome Companion, not terrible. I think the 2-drops, the pilot is better though.
I just
we're
hate too many
pretty sure
2/2s in this
right.
format.
I guess you could take the Sentry because it, is a 1-drop,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Anyways.
we're doing the like yay boo again. Yeah, I like Focus Fire. I mean, I know Graph Pack Monoist is like surprisingly pretty great stats, but I just like removal, I think.
You've forgotten our roots.
Oh no, Jason. Okay, this is definitely the like I don't think very many players would make this pick.
Hear me out. This card is so good with Lightsmith. It's so good.
It really is.
And I don't care about my direction, right? Like my black white deck seems highly medium right now, other than the Lightsmiths.
I agree.
Why don't I build a
Yeah.
highly medium soup deck around it instead of a highly medium black white deck around it?
I guess like it's so hard for me, and I think probably a lot of people watching to like realistically feel like we're going to get like multiple other gene pollinators, which feels like what would need to happen for this deck to become like super coherent. Or gene pollinator likes, I guess. Like you could get
There's
more Sammy's
three.
Curiosity or yeah. Wait, what'd you say?
I said there's three. Gene Pollinator, Sammy's Curiosity, Wayfarer.
Yeah. That's really what I'm saying is like we'd need to get probably like 4 more of those cumulatively to feel like we're coherently in green, and we'd still need to see like more green cards than that. And it's been pretty clear throughout this draft that like the Esper space are the most open colors at this pod. Don't get me wrong, I get it. I think Gene Pollinator is like deceptively kind of just awesome in decks that like aren't playing a lot of green cards, if that makes sense. So I kind of see this as like coherent, but I do think this is a pretty bold pollinator, like halfway through pack 2 without really any reason to believe that that space is open. I think very few people would make this pick. I wouldn't make this pick. But it certainly makes a case if this deck ended up successful that like maybe we should be considering this more strongly. I do think Focus Fire is just like pretty good though, so I'd be kind of excited to take it.
Yeah. I mean, like, I agree. Focus Fire is a good pick out of this pack. Let me just say, I probably would not make this pick if this command bridge was a virus beetle.
Cut out a bit. What'd you say?
Oh, I probably would not make this pick if this command bridge was instead of virus beetle. Conclude from that what you will. Unclear what the conclusion
exercise for the reader. Okay. All right. We're doing it, or we're at least trying to do it. This is again where you're like, okay, what does this mean that we have this gene pollinator now? Like philosophically. So Nanoform Sentinel is kind of nice with it. Tanuk is like if you're really going nuts. Night Luminary is quite safe.
We could have 2 of them.
No.
We have 2 of them.
No. I don't even think it's good. Wait, you can cast it.
If you cast the second one, when it enters, you'll still draw only 1 card. Or sorry, you'll still only make 1 robot.
Tapped too. The fact that they're tapped is so like rude. It's just it's incredibly rude.
I like you can reanimate it with Scrouge. That's a good one. I'm very much shitposting. I have never considered this card ever. That's not true.
I agree. I think it's like pretty unplayable. I think I'm taking Night Luminary here. It's just like good in either direction we go in, so I think it's pretty safe.
Fun fact.
And like, not necessarily the weakest card in the pack by any means.
Fun fact. Warp cards are good with Lightsmith.
Yes.
Most
cards are good with Lightsmith.
Sorry, spoilers.
Yeah, I think that's pretty clear. Like, you could take Chrome Companion, but at this point, we've got enough incentive to like really want to get into green, and we could be like base green white splashing the rest, and I think that's kind of nice.
Okay, so the other thing is that the other thing to realize is that at this point, I would like to point out something. What are our good black cards?
Yeah, we have a lot of them. The Sentry isn't great. Oh, we have like 1 good black card. Yeah.
We have like a Fellow Grafship.
It's our pack one pick 1, which is notable because that just means that like black might not actually be super open. Like I think that actually is something relevant to scan, is like if you end up with 1 good card of a color in your pile and it was your pack 1 pick 1, that's like probably a thing to notice of like, okay, maybe this color isn't as open as I thought it was. it's
So
easy to over-index on your first pick.
yeah, it's just really easy to over-index on a lot of things. Like one interesting thing about running this exercise of like, oh, what happened? What happens if we like consider the world where we had taken like the virus beetle or whatever, right? Like,
Right.
what would have happened then, right? That thinking through that hypothetical has caused us also to has I think caused the discussion to be a little centered around comparing like soup to black white, right? And this wasn't an intentional thing that I did, but I'm actually very glad that I did it because I think it's very easy to like because as you're drafting you might like have this thought process, right? Like even as I take this command bridge pack on pick 2, right? I might be thinking, oh, I could have taken this virus beetle, and therefore like I feel like I'm more in black. And then I take these lightsmiths and I see this pack where like I'm considering Seed Ship versus Embrace Oblivion, and despite taking the Seed Ship, I might like still feel like I'm more in black, right? Like it still kind of feels like I'm setting
Right.
up
You see
white
more black
black
cards go by. It is like you're adding them together as to like, oh, black is still somewhat available.
yeah, and like the thing is
And
that like
it's interesting though, because we don't actually end up with a lot of black.
yeah
It's open. It's definitely not open in this direction. I think
yeah
that's what I would conclude.
yeah like the thing is like at this point like if we had taken like other black cards. Yeah, I think we probably end up in a white black direction. I don't know if that direction would have ended up as good. It still would get a lot of the strong cards that we're going to see in pack 3. Spoilers. But like I don't know, like we probably would have taken some black white card here or something and the focus fire, and that would be good, right? But the thing is at this point, like we don't actually have a reason to be black white, right? Like.
Right.
So this is part of why I took Gene Pollinator, because we don't have a reason to be black white. I don't want to be black white. You know?
Yeah. I mean, what would you say we have a reason to be?
White.
White. I agree. Not really blue white. Not really green. Yeah, I think we're just like white with a bunch of somewhat strong cards of like we have like 1 to 2 strong cards of every other color, pretty much.
We actively want to be white, and then we have a cryo shot or a siege ship impact, an orbital plunge, and a fell grab ship. It's really nice.
Yeah. That does make the pollinator pick make more sense. Yeah, that's coherent. It also is really interesting. The virus beetle pick of like how an early pick can totally shape your draft because of like if it nudges your next pick by like a small percentage and then that nudges your next pick, it's very easy to snowball or cascade into like going down one single direction. And it's kind of weird how you stayed open by being biased towards soup in this draft. Right? Like you kept your options open to being just basically boring black white or weird Esper or green soup by kind of like not wanting to commit, which is interesting because I think your draft philosophy, as I've understood it, has been a lot more like I want to take cards that are coherent with the cards I've already taken. And you're doing that, but you're also sort of like holding out until you see things that are strong enough to want to actually go in a direction, which is something that I tend to advocate for a good amount of the time. So I don't know. I'm just noting that as like it's an interesting dichotomy.
The secret is that I have committed to a direction since pick 4 of this draft. I committed to the Sunstar Lightsmith direction. I don't care about anything else. I would like to play these Sunstar Lightsmiths.
Yeah. No, that actually is like a way to put what you're doing, which is just the strongest cards in your pool by a lot are these lightsmiths. You haven't seen anything else that is like good enough to build around. And so you're just kind of taking things that are flexible and will be good in a deck that is built around lightsmith. Which really I think is a way that a lot more people could view drafts with like play boosters is you're kind of building around your uncommons and rares a lot of the time, the stronger ones, of course. So like even now, right, pack 2, pick 7, we're getting this biomech and engineer.
I don't know why we're getting it, to be fair.
I also don't know why arena draft stuff, whatever. But like that is now probably the third strongest card in our pool. So
Yeah.
it's worth building around.
Okay, I will. When I was like looking through some of my drafts to figure out which one was the most interesting one, I like saw the begin. I didn't actually scroll all the way to this biomech engineer, this biome chan. So I forgot. I like somewhat forgot why I ended up in green. Now I understand why I ended up in green. Like obviously I did take the gene pollinator, but I forgot exactly like why like I was suddenly like very much in green. But yeah.
Yeah, no, that track, right? Because again, like it's now the third strongest card in your pool.
Yeah.
It's like you third picked it.
Yeah. Anyways. I think probably I should have taken Sky Stinger.
Yeah.
Whoops, I accidentally skipped a pick also. Like, I think after
Nice.
taking this Biomechan, I should have taken, like, one of the green punch balls and then taken Sky Stinger.
I agree.
But
Yeah.
I think I was still a little like wary of committing and like I think overestimating the chance that I would play this Alpha Rail, and I don't know why I took this card, but yeah.
I might even take like mental modulation or something. I don't know. It's sort of nice with Lightsmith. We don't have a lot of artifacts, but there's also not a lot. I mean,
Oh,
you
right.
could take the Courser.
I remember why I took the Self-Craft Mechan here. Because I took this Alpha Rail and I was like, oh, I'm going to try to play Alpha Rail. I need more artifacts. Let me take some Mechan. Which is a little bit
Yeah,
sus.
I don't know if Alpha Rail is like a worth building around level payoff. Apparently it has good stats, which I was a little surprised at because it reads kind of medium. But
It's good.
yeah, it's probably good enough to like happily put in every deck that can cast it, but I don't think it's like a card you should be building your deck around.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, we can round this out pretty quickly. Don't worry, I came to my senses in pack 3.
I'm scared about what that means.
What do you think it means?
No. Oh my goodness. So no, really, like I would just take the lab ship here. I feel like it's better even if we end up in a soupy deck.
Is
So strong.
the lab ship that good?
I think so. I've been really impressed with it in like every deck I've seen it in.
I like don't have that many artifacts aforementioned.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Um,
for one, I don't think that matters a ton. Like 1 mana, station a bunch. Sarah Angel is just pretty nice. Like I don't see it as really an artifact card. I see it as just kind of an efficient threat. But the artifact stuff also matters, right? But like we just picked up a Self-Craft Mecha, and we're probably going to want to take Cryogen Relics if we're going to be base blue green with this Biome Chan. Yeah, like I think I would take Lab Ship. It's just like a card that's much stronger than most of the other stuff you can do at like common level.
I would take Shepherd over lab ship. I think that was still.
That's fair. That was the other card I was considering.
I
You
still
don't have
stand
a
by
good
this
one
pick,
drop really to grab with it yet, right? The
Wait, no,
Shepherd?
yes, we do. We have one drop.
Oh, we do. I was thinking because we had passed up the 1 mana 1/1 flyer, but that's what counts.
Can I stand by this pick though? We have two lightsmiths.
Make your argument.
We have two lightsmiths.
Yeah.
This card is very good with lightsmith.
So is Lab Ship.
No, it's a lot worse. This is a card that both gets you to 5 mana and also like draws a card when you got to 5 mana. Like, I don't know. Like you Lab Ship is not that good with Lightsmith. Like it costs 1, but like it doesn't like Lab Ship is not a card you want to play on turn 5 with Lightsmith.
Yeah, I agree Curiosity is better for sure with Lightsmith, but I think Lab Ship is just like a generically stronger card by a good deal. I don't know, I haven't been that high on Curiosity. It's pretty awkward if you're not casting it on turn 1, I think. It's mainly my like quibble.
I also kind of felt that this deck needed more fixing, so I was like, I've
Well,
come to my
certainly.
senses. I'm only picking fixing now.
Okay. I don't know. I think it's somewhat reasonable, but I think Labship is the kind of card that I'm just pretty high on and would want to pick up as
Mhm.
like premium. Ooh, interesting. There's like a lot of options here. So
I forget what I took out of this pack.
yeah, Ice Explorer is, I know, a card that you are shockingly kind of low on because it like can mill you out a lot. It's obviously great with stuff like you social engineering or the Glacier Godma, but I get that. Like I think it's milled me out a lot. And also we're not clearly able to produce double green in this deck
To be clear,
necessarily.
I have never cast the card still.
Yeah. I've cast it. It's played like you have theorized, which is very strong if you're curving it into stuff that can pay it off. And also, do really end up worrying about decking and your ability to like finish games a lot when you cast it. Sunstar Expansionist is really good. I don't know if I would count it as fixing. Cryogen Relic is
It's
really
okay.
good, especially
Just
with some
just
of the
choose
stuff
the
we have.
draw. Just choose the draw, and it'll fix you.
Uh, there may be other problems with this plan. Um, Cryogen Relic, I do really like, but I don't know what colors we're based in. So yeah, what colors are you seeing us based in currently?
Green white
Green, white. Okay.
or green blue bands.
Right. That's mainly the confusion I have. Um yeah. I think I would
Good luck,
take
CFT.
Sunstar. Good luck, CFT. Does it give records? I guess not. Anyway, I'd probably take Sunstar. Yeah. It's just like definitely gonna be good. It's not gonna be fixing necessarily, but it sometimes will be.
I think any bit helps. So you know.
Yes, that's fair. One I think like lesson I've weirdly learned over the past few years in limited is that like all the effects that you put in your deck will happen sometimes, which is a weird lesson because it seems very like trivial and obvious, but I think one of my biases is that I like very much skew toward evaluating cards as exactly their average case. And like, I don't know, if you put enough edge cases in your deck, you'll probably have like one edge case happen per game, and that could matter.
Mhm.
Whoa. Well, all of this building around the lightsmiths that we have, I think, has paid off.
I'm
It's
afraid.
possible you need the Wayfarer, but I think I'm just slamming lightsmith here.
Oh, I was right to be afraid.
Oh no, Jason.
Did you wait? This
Huh.
is a better. This is a better game to win rate than Lightsmith. That's really funny. I think these are
We
best
do
of
have like
three
a
win
ton of
rates.
4 drops, but I think I would just take the card that we've been building around this entire draft. I don't know.
I think you underestimate how high I am on Wayfarer. It's like a Lightsmith that costs 3.
X. Doubt.
No, it's not. It's definitely not that, obviously. But I
Hmm.
I kind of stand by this. Only a little bit.
Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. So it's hard for me to picture like what our deck looks like. Is where I'm at right now.
Okay, now imagine you're at a PT. You can't see your picks.
Oh my god, that would be so stressful.
Okay, I think some of
I'd probably honestly take the fixer because I would be like, I don't even know if I have a coherent deck currently,
I
and I need to
believe
make sure I do.
I believe that's kind of why I did. In that I like
Yeah.
basically I was thinking like I so like like obviously I was looking at my picks while doing this, but like some things that could stand out are like, okay, I do actually have cards of all 5 colors that I would like to play. Weirdly enough, black is the
Yes.
least appealing, but like Fell Grafship might still be nice. But like Orbital Plunge is nice, Nebula Dragon's nice,
Yeah.
and I have a bunch of mana sinks, right? Like Lightsmith somewhat counts. Then Biomechan, Killship, and Nebula Dragon are all like, and even like boosters, right? So like,
Interesting that you're pretty high on Nebula Dragon, because I've been like very medium on it. I put it in a couple decks, but haven't been like, oh yeah, this is easily making even my soup decks.
oh, it's pretty easily making my soup decks. I've been pretty impressed. I think it has
Okay.
several stats though,
Noted.
so
Take it how you will. I had a deck. I had a deck with 2 of those and XX red make copies. That was fun.
Yeah.
That then it becomes premium, but
yeah, I don't know. I kind of stand by this. I just felt like I already had a bunch of ways to like.
Lightsmiths do get worse in multiples.
Yeah.
Like,
Let me put it this way.
notably.
Let me put it this way. I already had 3 draw 3s in my deck, whereby 3 draw 3s are Lightsmith, which doesn't explicitly draw 3 cards, Lightsmith, which doesn't explicitly draw 3 cards, and Biomechan, which also doesn't explicitly draw 3 cards. But they're all draw 3s, if you know what I mean.
I would, yeah. When you say draw 3, I think what you mean there is like card engine, right?
What I mean is a card draw spell that's better than a divination. Like, draws more cards than a divination.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, and like that's kind of equivalent to being a card engine, where a divination is just like a, it's a 1-for-1 of card draw, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well. Oh God. I kind of want to take Gene Pollinator here, even though Chaplain is like absurd. The card's like really, really, really strong, and All Fate Stalker's good too. But like, I feel like we just have.
And you were you were telling me I couldn't take Wayfarer in this pack, and you want to take Gene Pollinator here?
I guess because we took Wayfarer, I guess we're a little more able to take the Chaplain, which is sort of nice.
First of all, what do you think I took?
Well, unfortunately, I saw it.
Oh, okay.
When you panned over. Yeah, but I don't know. I would have been tempted to take Gene here, especially because it doesn't look clearly like we have a lot of early stuff. But I guess Chaplain is also early stuff. Yeah, it's just such a strong card.
Did you know that Chaplin's very strong with Lightsmith?
So is Gene, to be fair. I would argue equally strong.
Well, like you can remove the counters from the Lightsmith to tap things out.
I know the joke. Yeah, but like Gene also is just so good at powering it out and starting to double spell.
Yeah.
I don't think this is that interesting. Like taking the bomb is kind of very fair.
Yeah, I don't think the rest of this draft is that interesting either. So like,
and now we're just base green white basically, and we're splashing like some of the other cards opportunistically.
Yeah. So when I said that, I don't think it necessarily mattered exactly what moves, what like path you took. I think that this deck would have been fine either way. What I mean is that in pack 3, there was the chance of going Shepherd into Expansionist, into Lightsmith, into Chaplain, into Night Luminary, into All Fate Stalker.
Yeah. So I do actually think, based on that like you kind of put the Jason Flair on it, but this was just a draft that like would have been hard to not do well in, because the white cards were just absurd and like very, very open the entire draft.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we ended up with like a better deck than if we had gone straight black white. The Pollinator makes it really nice, but we only have one of them, right? So like I guess Pollinator is a card that can make your deck like notably better than just a normal good limited deck that curves out with like strong cards, but is playing them on the turns that you expect to play them. Pollinator can like turn a very strong deck into like a kind of a broken deck because you're just doing things in turn before everyone else is. And that we have a little bit of that angle, but we don't have a lot of that angle here. We're just sort of playing all of the green cards to be able to play the cards that would have been strong anyway.
Notably, I did not end up playing Orbital Plunger Nebula Dragon. I just ended up being
Right.
straight Bant. And like, I'm not playing the green cards to play the blue cards. Like, I was playing the green cards to rain.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely yeah, you're like getting to a place where the more material you get out on the board, the more like output you have, which is a really good plan with Lightsmith. I'm maybe a little bit worried about this deck falling behind early if it doesn't start on like a Pollinator or a Curiosity, but maybe that's too worrisome because we have like the Night Luminaries are twos, kind of.
Yeah. There are definitely twos.
They're Eldritch Visionary.
Yeah,
It's one
exactly.
of my favorite cards.
Wow,
Yeah.
that card's busted. Elvish Visionary always draw your what's a 4-mana 3/2 that makes a
It's the blue one that makes a Thopter.
no, it doesn't make a Thopter.
No, I know.
Enters 1/1.
And you're good at Scarfell searching.
Scrapwork. It's a
Large Captain.
no. It's a scrapwork. It draws a scrapwork cohort.
Lasarnak. I've never seen that card before.
Me
I've seen
neither.
this Commander thing.
It
A
looks
scrapwork
Lord of
cohort.
the Rings or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, I mean this deck's very strong. I at the end of the day don't know if it would have been like better or worse if it were just a normal like black-white draft. Probably a little bit worse, but unclear, I think, is where I'm at.
Mm-hmm. Okay, CFC, I have a question for you. I did not want to take Gene over Chaplain, but how do you feel about taking Galactic Wayfarer over Sunstar Lightsmith? I don't know if you were here for that.
I guess the notable thing is like we have had questions about why we've taken any green cards at all throughout the entire draft.
Well, I mean, I took the Biome Chan, you know.
Yeah. This is very much a draft where there are questions about taking the green cards. The questions might be answered by the fact that taking the green cards is actually good, but the questions are there.
Yeah.
This is not a draft where it's obvious that you should have been in green.
It's also a draft where everything is unknowable because all moves lead to 3-0ing.
Yes, exactly.
So, you know.
Dang, so unfortunate. We didn't get any strong data because it was always going to be a 3-0 for us. The plight of the pro player.
More like the plight of the best of 3 drafter.
Sure. Yeah.
I think my opponents were also a little bit soft in this best of 3. So I'm including that.
The thing with best of 3 is that the drafts are harder and the opponents are like lower quality most of the time. That's like the tendency.
I agree that's the tendency compared to best of 1 Mythic.
Yeah.
I believe that the correct
okay.
comparison is Platinum for play quality.
That makes sense.
Or it's what I've heard in the past. I don't know if it's changed recently. Anyways, you want to do yours?
Let's do mine. Yeah, let me pull this up.
Okay.
This will be a very different draft in interesting ways, I think. So I'm curious to see what your opinions are on this draft. I think let's just go in blind. And I will hide the pick, of course.
Well, I know what card you're supposed to pick out of this pack.
What is it?
Rust Harvester.
Uh-huh. Any thought for like All Fate Stalker?
Well, Rust Harvester is a rare, so you can gather data on
it. Fair. What if you were at the PT? This does have a higher game handle rate.
I'm surprised at that, I guess.
Me too. Me
Like,
too. This card seems very, very strong to me.
yeah,
Rust Harvester, that is.
All Fate Stalker is extremely strong.
Yes.
I could definitely see
It may
like
be better.
okay, it's hard for me to make a judgment about what I would do at the PT because I've like cast Rust Harvester like once in my one best of one sealed arena direct run where I got the optimal record of 6-2, so I don't have to deal with getting a collector's booster box shipped to me. This is mostly joking. But I agree. I basically don't have very much experience with or against Rust Harvester. But my theory is strong. But I could definitely like I assume by the PT I will like have played with it, and I can definitely see Elfate Stalker being stronger. Like I don't know, Stalker is very
Yeah.
very strong.
I did have a game earlier today where like my opponent played a turn 1 Rust Harvester, and I like had removal for it, but it would have been kind of awkward to cast off curve. And it was sort of just easy for me to like wait until the point in the game where they were realistically able to put artifacts in their graveyard before I killed it. And I think that might be something of what's going on here is that like putting artifacts in your yard is actually somewhat difficult. That's really the limiting factor of the card.
That's fair. I guess I put it in the deck with like an artifact sax theme. Like I had like the 4 mana red thing that like impulse draws cards as well.
Yeah, and like that, obviously, I think if you have infinity artifacts in your graveyard, then this is just like a totally effed up card in limited. Um, it also is easy to kill, right? Like it's the kind of thing where if it's going to be amazing, your opponent will be able to prioritize getting it off the battlefield. So that also could limit its upside. Depending on color preference, maybe we don't think red is the strongest color. I think that might be part of what's going on with the game and win rate. But it also could just be that like people are trying to like go all in on it and that kind of thing, and it's not like worth doing that. I still think I would take it here, both for science and just because I think like it is an abstractly stronger card than Fate Stalker. Those are really the only two I'm considering, though.
Okay, throughout this conversation, I have switched to the stance. You should take it for science. I think now that I now believe that All Fate Stalker is a abstractly stronger card.
Okay, I'm like pretty willing to believe that. I think.
But mostly, I was like, mostly I was thinking about the time where I cast Rust Harvester, and I was like, oh, I guess I did have like an abnormally easy time putting artifacts in my graveyard that game.
Yeah, I think that's really the thing that's going on. It's that and it being easy to kill. So like it's very telegraphed when it's going to like start doing relevant things. When it does relevant things, it's kind of messed up. But it's very like you need to work to set it up, and even then it's telegraphed. But I took it here. We're gonna learn for science. So what are you looking at here in the next pack?
Traj.
Trage. So sad. Yeah, this card, I think I put in like our Discord channel for, we have like individual card discussion channels for every card. I just put kind of fucked up for Tragic Trajectory. Like, it's really easy to make it just 1 mana remove target creature.
Yeah.
Which is really good.
I think it makes it better than
the
the Flame Bolt, even though Flame Bolt is on color.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's like a notably stronger Magic card, and I don't want to get married to our first pick by any means. So I agree. Like I think that's just pretty clearly the pick here. There's no other card in the pack that really contends
Loading
with
zone.
it. Boo. No. F. Terrible. Trap card. Don't play it. All right, what about here?
I mean, probably you just take the depressurize. Like,
yeah. So this is why I'm saying this is going to be a very different draft, I think, and I'm really curious to see like, is there a different path I could have taken, or was it just about how I navigated the path I had? People can see there's an O3 up here. This is in best of one, and I don't really know exactly what went wrong in this draft. I kind of assumed looking back on it, or like before I looked back on it rather, that I did something really structurally wrong in my navigation because the deck I ended up with didn't feel that strong. But I don't know. Looking at these first three picks, I'm not really clear what else I'm supposed to have done.
I think you are also
So,
allowed to take Kav Landseeker, but I would be like surprised if it was correct too.
yeah, I agree. I think it's like if I'm at the Pro Tour, I'm taking Depressurize here. I don't think it's that
Yeah.
close. Although weirdly, they have pretty close game and hand win rates. Is Depressurize like underperforming in game and hand win rate? Do we think?
I don't know. I have like I found Depressurized to be okay.
Yeah, I think it's like not incredibly premium, but like definitely better than most other commons you would be taking.
See, if this were call time, I would just take the Ravenous Lindworm in the pack.
This one,
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not call time.
not every set.
Darn, I wish I took the Ravenous Lindworm in the pack.
Yep. This is kind of the one. I don't know if I'd call it an off ramp exactly, but like alternate path. Are you actually taking engineering here?
What's your
You
alternative?
especially- Well, I think the Zookeeper Mechan's like a nice card.
Come on. Zookeeper Mechan's like an okay common. Social Engineering is like one of the best uncommons in the set, I think.
Yeah, that's totally fair. Maybe I was too locked into like playing this Rust Harvester. I'm also a little bit less high on social engineering than you are, probably. Maybe that's wrong. I think it's like very good in some decks, and then if you're playing it without much support, it's just like good, but not amazing. But it's pretty easy if you pick it up early to like support it pretty well. Being able to make landers before turn 4 is like a nice part of that, and also just being able to like have card draw and keep making land drops. Those are like the two main things to make it work.
I don't know. You have like 2 removal spells. I think that like just also like pairs better structurally with a card like Engineering than with a card like Mechan.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. So I took Mechan. That might have been too, what's the word? Like straight line path pilled, if that makes sense. For like, oh yeah, I'm just getting cards of these 2 colors, and it's like a pretty easy path to take my draft in instead of going for power.
Yeah. I also think that you could consider one of the like if you're taking a blue or red card, you could also consider it's not blue or red, black or red card. You could also consider the I have no idea how to feel about either Molecular Modifier or Swarm Caller, but those both seem like cards that could theoretically like be good in the black red deck. Admittedly, that's not a very high game in hand win rate number, but I don't know. I feel like the card like has sometimes impressed the Swarm Caller.
Yeah. I think it like suffers from being very 4 mana, but like it
Yeah.
is synergistic in a lot of the stuff black is doing. It's just like hard to justify spending that much on a synergy piece. Um,
Yeah.
I've had it be like completely fine in a lot of black decks, but I don't think it's anything that's like going to actively make your deck better. If that makes sense, it's filler basically, synergy filler almost.
Yeah.
Where like if you're picking up active treasons, you kind of want these, but then you're doing a lot of like work to make something that's ultimately kind of a medium output.
Yeah, that's fair. I can't believe though that we passed up the. I can't believe we passed up the opportunity to go engineering into my love, Sammy's Curiosity.
Yeah, no, this tracks. I think maybe I'm just like not drafting with a strong enough preference for being in these decks.
Well,
Like that could be what's
I
going
mean,
on.
it's not. It's okay. This isn't even like a preference comment. This is just a like. I don't think there was like. I don't think that the Zookeeper Mechan is leading anywhere. Whereas like the engineering, like I'm not picking engineering as I want to be soup. I'm picking engineering as this is just the strongest card in the pack.
Yes, no, I do agree with that for what it's worth. And then yeah, like there's not really a clear strong card in black or red. You could take this Beamsaw Prospector, which I think is what I did, but like you're just kind of going down a road where your deck is going to be full of medium commons and not super coherent,
Yeah,
which is where I ended up.
I would
see.
much rather take like Cryo Shatter.
Yeah, that makes sense. And just like assume we're going to be in one of these two colors, but not necessarily
Yeah,
both.
I don't know. I just like don't have a strong. It doesn't feel like you really have a strong direction right now. I just want to like keep trying to find one.
Yeah, staying open and taking the power, basically. I like that. All right, next.
I've heard Monoist is a good card.
Me too. CFT is very high on it. They call it like preening champion, right? It's not totally not preening champion, and it has good win rate ish. 57 is not super high, but strong.
Yeah. To be clear,
What are your thoughts
CFT.
on Hilderblade?
I've not seen it cast. I want to respond to CFT really quick. To be clear, in the previous pack, I only would have taken Sammy's Curiosity if we had taken the Engineering. I don't know if you're saying you would still take the Cryo Shatter after taking the Engineering, but like definitely like without the Engineering, there's not a huge reason to take Curiosity.
I agree with that.
But yeah, I have never played with Blade or against it.
I have. It's been like medium to good, is how I describe it. Like, it is really easy to keep equipping to things, but it's also sort of easy if you like aren't supporting this well to just run out of creatures or to not always be on the front foot. So it's a powerful card, but I don't think it's like a premium one. I'd probably take the Monoist over it.
It seems
Just
very
to
good
be
with
like,
Monoist.
yo, definitely. Yeah, for sure. But I think I'd rather end up with like 3 Monoists instead of like 2 Monoists and a Hilderblade, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Any consideration to like Beckoner or Focus Fire here?
No.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think that's right.
I think just like getting deep in
Monoist.
black is also like black is where most of your good cards are right now.
Yep. Yeah, like this card's very strong, but we might be over-indexing on it because this is not like an incredible reason to be in red. I'm probably a little bit too high on the Mechan. I really like the Mana Dork aspect of it, but I could be overrating that.
Mm-hmm. Command Bridge question mark?
Yeah, this is a very like upside command bridge without any other thing that we're really excited about. I hope I didn't take Graveblade Heavy. Let's see. Yeah, no, I took Bridge.
Yeah,
It's just like
I assume heavy is bad.
card. I agree. It's not terrible. You can put it in your deck and you're not going to be embarrassed, but like it's just slightly lower rate than other things you can be doing at 4 mana, I think.
Maybe you
But,
won't
like,
be
basically all the
embarrassed.
time. Okay. What about this?
Maybe Solvecraft Mechan?
Yeah, we don't have a lot going on with it. You think it's just like the strongest card in the pack?
Yeah, like I don't know.
Do you agree?
I'm just like trying to imagine ways to salvage what you have here, and like I feel like it does the best. Like I can't really imagine the other cards really contributing much to like salvaging what you have here, but I can imagine getting like two cryogen relics with to go along with like Selfcraft Beckon to like feel like powerful. It just seems the most high upside.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Also, it is somewhat of a combination with Rust Harvester, in that they both want the same things.
Sure. Yeah, no, that makes sense. It's because we picked up the command bridge too, we're more able to be in like a multicolor space potentially.
Yeah.
I think what went wrong in this pack one was that I was treating Rust Harvester as a bomb and also feeling like, okay, black is the direction that we're clearly open in a little bit and like wanting to get deep into. And so I was just sort of like, it makes sense to be safe and like solidify myself into a 2-color space where I have a bomb and a solid like base color. But I think
Okay.
that's too simplistic.
I think the problem with that is that your bomb is not the kind of bomb that you can just play.
Yes, I agree.
This is
And I also
why
think that like I
this is
was
why Stalker
ignoring
is better.
other upside paths to like get into this place that is not necessarily the like place you should preferentially be in because it's just a better way to draft or like
Mhm.
a more reliable way to draft,
Mhm.
which in some formats it is, but I don't know if it is in this one.
Anyways, just looking at this draft has made me realize that I would definitely take the Hulk Stalker at the PT.
Yes, I think I agree. I took this medium red creature, which is pretty depressing.
Mhm. Some card draw, question mark?
I think that's what I did. Yep. Card draw is just
Seems
a little bit nice. It's easy to
okay.
enable void in black red. It's okay. Like, yeah, black red likes to be removal heavy and can like some card draw, but and assertive, so you can kind of enable void more easily. Focus Fire is the best card in the pack, but like this card's not bad.
Despite its stats. Um, some more card draw, I guess.
Yeah, some more card draw.
Maybe we're
Like
just
pretty easy,
playing.
same reason.
Maybe we're just playing mono divinations and removal spells.
Take the annul for the sideboard, but we're in best of one, so we took Illvoy Operative, but I would definitely take this in a real draft.
Yep.
It's a little close, this one.
I think you want the whole carver. It works better with Rest Harvester. Cheaper. It's nice.
I agree, and I think this pick is wrong. I should have taken Hull Carver.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because we have like draw spells where we just want to be able to like develop early, trade off, and then keep fueling.
Yeah.
Get Blade of the Swarm, and now we have some options.
Is it bad that I want to take Lightsmith over Archenemy's Charm? I don't think that's bad, actually. It's gonna wheel. Take the Lightsmith.
Yeah, Arch Enemy's Charm might wheel. Lightsmith is very strong. Any consideration for nutrient block?
Not Nutrient Block. I thought you were gonna ask about Void Forged Titan.
No. I'm pretty high on nutrient block. I think it's like a pretty nice glue card and obviously helps with our Rust Harvester. If we're in black, I'm somewhat likely to pick up the what was it called? Embrace Oblivion, whatever that really likes having nutrient block. I don't know. I thought about it.
You're definitely higher on the card than I am. I don't know. I just think it's a little mediocre at doing all the things.
Yeah, it is. Well, kind of. I think it's like definitely a synergy piece. You don't just put it in a deck and expect to like have it be good, but it's a really needed synergy piece for like a lot of things that you want to put together in the format, I guess. That's how I'd say. I was collecting data here a little bit, and I think it's definitely not a great pick because it's just going to wheel, but I went with the charm because I hadn't played with it yet. And it's definitely good in this deck. Like, we're very much base black, but Voidforge Titan and Wheel would even be like a better safe pick. I even think Nutrient Block and Wheel. It's not trivial that this will wheel, but like it's pretty
it's not obvious that it
substantially
wheels.
likely. Yeah. Lightsmith is really good, but like I am worried about being in not base green multicolor, like pretty distinctly in this set. So I think I was just not doing it enough.
I was just going to suggest taking Lightsmith
Black-white.
and being black white. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's pretty coherent. Like Lightsmith is arguably just as good as Rust Harvester.
Arguably better.
Yes. Yeah, Lightsmith is nice. All right. Next.
Is that the black white creature land?
It is.
Hilarious. I would have slammed that if you had taken Lightsmith.
Now what would you take?
I would maybe still slam it. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I ended up doing.
Well, I
just
wouldn't.
like I'm probably gonna pick up some white cards that I could splash with this in the command bridge.
I slam is the wrong word. I would just
Take it.
take it.
Yep.
A little reluctantly.
Agreed. Is this? Can I poll you about Space Time Anomaly? Where are you at with this card? Not that it's relevant at all to the draft we're currently having, but I find it interesting.
I put it in one of my decks that was like okay. I put it in literally the best deck I've drafted this format, I think. I drew it once. It did nothing. It didn't matter that it did nothing. It was very bad when I drew it, though. Like, okay, I drew it once. It almost lost me the game, but it's okay. My deck was good enough.
To be clear, yeah, this is probably one of the cards that is going to have the highest ever in 17 lands history game drawn, like impact when drawn negative, basically, because I think the game in hand win rate, I don't even know if it'll be good. It'll probably be bad. But like the difference between this card being in your opening hand and being one of the 5 cards you draw to start the game is like huge, I think. And where I'm at with it, I've put this in like 3 decks at this point, 2 maybe. I think it is bad to put in good decks, first off, because it just is like a high variance card that can be like a reason you lose a game just as much as it can be a reason you win a game. I do think it is a powerful sideboard card. That's my suspicion. I think it's like a card that you can board in if you don't expect your opponent to be like pressuring your life total in the first few turns of the game. And you can just win games if you get to cast it on turn 4 if it's in your opening hand.
Yeah, boarded
Like
in against CFT and me.
Exactly. Truly. This is like an anti-Jason CFT draft style card. They're tapping out for germ pollinator stuff. You get to just cast this on turn 4, and then they're like, wait a second.
Don't spill our
How do I
secrets.
beat you in a long game?
You heard nothing.
But yeah, that's. I just wanted to soapbox a little bit about it. I think I'm high on this card, not as a main deck card, but I think you should actually take it somewhat highly in the draft because it can be really useful as a sideboard, like hate piece.
Yeah, though obviously we cannot cast it right now.
Yeah, we're not taking it here. All right, moving on.
Abandon everything. No. Well, I think you can't abandon literally everything for Biome Chan. You might be able to abandon like some things for Consult, though.
Yeah, you could just be blue-black, maybe. It's definitely the strongest card in the pack.
Well, no. Yeah, okay. That doesn't. It's strongest besides Biome. Yeah.
I don't know. I might even argue that if I'm in blue-green, I prefer Consult.
No. If you're in like blue-white with a green splash, you prefer Consult. You know, like if you're not main green, you prefer Consult. Otherwise, no. Biome Chan is so good.
I'm like I want to spend 8 mana a lot of the time, but obviously the 2-drop is just good on its own. Yeah, it's very good on its own.
The 2-drop is so good, and then your opponent has to care about it because like sometimes you do just spend 8 mana.
Yeah. No, this is fair. It's probably a little bit better.
You could also take the Blood Artist. It's not preposterous.
I think I might have. Let's see. No, I took an Orbital Plunge. I think I'm too assuming that I'm already in red and like solidly in red here.
Yeah, I would much rather just stick to black.
Yeah, that's quite reasonable. I think again I was doing the thing of like, this is a bomb, then I'm going to play its color, and I have another color that I'm which is really simplistic for the
if you're trying to play Rust Harvester, then you should take Melted Moxite.
Yes, that's actually a good point. Yeah, I think what we're realizing in this draft is like, this is not just a card you get to play, you have to build around it, and I think that makes it a lot worse as a first pick, notably, and also just like probably less good than like this very strong uncommons, like the All Fate Stalker. or a Lightsmith or whatever.
Yeah.
We goifing it up?
No,
We
we're
are
certainly
goifing it up.
not. Are we culling some timelines? Are we bolting some plasma? I don't know how to
Those
feel
are the two
about
I was
timeline
thinking.
caller. It's nice with the blade of the no wait no, not that one, the swarm caller, that one.
This one?
Yeah.
Or this one?
It's
Yeah.
also nice with the void stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably take the timeline caller.
Did I? Let's see.
Nice.
Yep.
I wish we had
Did.
the blood artist.
I
Just be mono
agree.
black.
Although I don't. How high are you on the blood artist, like generically?
It's like kind of nice.
I'm a little lower on it, maybe. Like 3 mana 2/2 is really tough, and you don't have easy ways to just like make the life matter as well as build a big board and sack stuff. Like the black decks have felt more grindy to me than they are like go wide, if that makes sense. It's still fine if you're doing that stuff, but it's not obviously like better than just sort of a 3 mana 3/3 to me.
CFT says it's not too late to take a summoner. I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure what a summoner does for us in this deck. Is the problem? We have like
Is
3
that a card you're really
artifacts.
high on, CFT? I'm curious. Because I have been like pretty medium on it.
Uh,
It just feels hard to set up.
I like it when you have more artifacts, but you have like 3.
Yeah,
I guess 5 if you count 2 death triggers.
I never cast it. Okay, interesting. I agree. Yeah, our black does not play super well with it. Our black is really just not playing with our red well either.
Yeah, what if we were green instead? Then we could take the Cosmogoyf.
Or just the germinating worm.
But consider it's Tarmogoyf. I mean Cosmogoyf. I'm sure it'll be large.
All right. What are we taking now?
I've had like decent experiences with the 5 mana spacecraft, to be honest.
You have? I really haven't. I
Or
felt like it's one of the spacecrafts that is kind of like difficult to put in your deck because it's just too high variance,
I guess
and you can't put that many spacecrafts in your deck.
my opponents keep casting it against me, and it keeps looking good, and then I keep putting it in my sideboard and then siding it in, and then like being happy that I sided it in, but like distinctly not wanting it to be main deck.
I have beat many an opponent that had cast this on turn 5. Maybe that's unusual. I'm not sure.
I don't. It's not like a super good card or anything, but it like has uses. It like plays with like the attrition-y stuff.
I guess in theory. I don't know. Even if you're like getting the 4/3 out of it, it just feels like pretty stinky rate to me. I'm pretty low on it. Watch me have taken it. I think I probably took Hull Carver.
I would take the
I'm not
dragon
sure though.
if not. I think the dragon might be the pick either way. You need like
Interesting. Okay, I took
something.
Hull Carver.
Your deck doesn't do anything
Something
right
like
now.
late gamey.
Your deck just doesn't do anything, you know?
I think that is like the thing I'm a little blind spotted to is like I can look at a limited deck that just curves out with common creatures and has like 5 removal spells and be like, this deck is nice. It's consistent. It curves out. It has enough removal. It's got a good creature base. And I think that's just like not strong enough in limited anymore. And I need to get with the times a little bit. I think that's partially what's happening in this draft. Um, it is true that this format, you really want to prioritize like curving out and board impact. But I think you can't do that at the expense of like having an engine-y late game. I think you really do need both, and I'm not really prioritizing that enough in this draft.
Yeah, your cards are just low impact.
Yep, that's a good way to put it. It's like I'm doing the thing where I evaluate cards on like their average case in a first 6 turns of the game like development stage, and I probably need to be doing a little bit more of like, how do these cards combine together in a late game to actually produce an engine that is going to like win me games against other decks that have strong cards, and they don't quite do that. Right, moving on. This one's
Please
pretty
tell
easy, I
me.
think.
Please tell me you took the Void Forge Titan.
Yeah, I like this card a lot. I'm going to be pretty surprised if I didn't take it. Yeah. I don't love it. Like, it's still a 5-drop, but the card flow is really nice, and you can pretty easily trigger Void in this format, and just generally, like, it's a mechanic that is made to be easy to trigger. So,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, this card definitely needs this kind of effect.
I don't love it, but yes, you need that kind of effect.
Yep, for sure. And we get another one.
Here, I might actually take Nutrient Block.
Really? I mean, I don't have that many things that actively work with it yet. Like this kind of. I'm not even sure I'm playing it. Rust Harvester for sure. Void Forge Titan for sure. But like, do we not want a second one?
Mostly, I'm not sure how high I am on the Void Forge Titan. Like, definitely you needed to have at least one. Maybe you don't need to have the second one, is what I'm thinking. And like, it definitely has some awkwardnesses.
It does, yeah. I think also what might have been happening in this draft is I had a very early draft that was like black red with a ton of removal and 2 Void Forge Titans. It also happened to have an Elegy Acolyte, which is like one of the best bombs in the set. And that might have been a reason why it like trophied. But it also didn't feel as strong as it like did in the record. And I probably was over indexing on that kind of boring like creatures plus removal formula being strong. And that deck happened to have 2 Void Forge Titans, and they felt really crucial for like giving it a card engine with all its removal. So I was kind of trying to recreate that a little bit. And I was thinking at this point that like I'm not synergistic with Nutrient Block, but the issue is that like I'm continuing to not prioritize making Rust Harvester good at all.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if you believe that Void Forge Titan is like a premium card as opposed to like a card that has uses, then like it makes sense to take it here.
Yeah, I wouldn't describe it as premium. I would say that the way I was evaluating it here was like important to making a certain type of deck work.
Sure.
In a way that Nutrient Block is, but I feel like I'm more the Void Forge Titan deck than the Nutrient Block deck. But, you know, I can see your argument for sure. Also, I'm probably just moving a little bit down on it because I think I was too high on it based on its performance in that one deck.
Mm-hmm. Well, now you can take
Now, surely. And I did.
Yeah. You want ways to trigger
this one's pretty
Void.
easy. It's just important to a lot of things that Black wants to do, stuff I already have, stuff I might get. Yeah. Easy. This one's not super important.
Any 9/9s?
We took this for some reason. If I like end up in black-white, I guess if I open a white bomb. Is there an actual consideration for the 9/9, or are you just joking?
I'm mostly joking. It might be the correct pick though. It has a couple upsides.
It does. Like if we pick up the +3/+2 haste trample thing, maybe I want to collect data on that. I don't know. Take that. Not really difficult.
This sure is a pile of black creatures. Oh, hey, you got the Nebula Dragon.
It sure is a pile of black cards.
Can we take the tractor beam?
We can. I think it's not like better enough than vote out to like actually take it though.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's pretty fair.
Yep. We took vote out.
You could also take Melded Moxite, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think I probably was not prioritizing this card enough as like a really nice blue piece that again helps this be an actual bomb. Also, weirdly, I think some of our teammates have been moving down on vote out, which I'm kind of tracking because it reads like a much better card than the like 4 mana exile removal spell at instant speed, just because
Sorcery hurts. I don't
shaving
know.
mana off is really nice, but sorcery does really hurt. I agree. Not exiling does really hurt in a meaningful way. So I guess noting that like this might not actually be incredible removal, it might just be like
It's not. I don't think it
average.
is.
Yeah.
It's like I just think it's worse than Grav Kill personally.
Yeah, I think I might be coming around to that opinion.
Whoa, some good cards. Uh, I think I want the Graf ship, but I'm not sure.
Grafship. Yeah, so like Grafship is a card that other people have been doing pretty well with and kind of finding as premium that like when I played with it, I've been underwhelmed. Not that it's bad, but it's just been like very fine for me. I'm not sure what's going on there. Because is it that like people are recurring bombs? Is it that I'm not grokking like the impact it's actually having on most games? I'm not really sure. I feel like it just sort of does a very like fair one for one thing that's like a little bit under rate, and then you have to pump a lot of power into it to end up just being like a decent card output. But
I mean,
I'm probably just wrong because the stats are good. Other people think it's good.
okay. You just it's a 2-for-1, and pumping the power into it is like offset by the life gain. So it's kind of just a 2-for-1.
Yeah, I guess. Maybe I'm just like underrating that. I think this is probably falling into a blind spot somehow. Don't get me wrong. I like the card and I'm like
I
happy to
think
pick it. You know,
I
I
think
was
you're
considering
biased
it as
against the
one of the
concept
picks.
of spacecraft.
I am. That is a notable thing that I like definitely am biased against in this format. Which I don't know if I'm willing to move off of that exactly, but this is one of the better ones for sure. And it's a card I'm perfectly willing to play.
Yeah, mostly I personally think that other people are overrating the Terra Pact Intimidator card.
Hmm. Interesting. I
Just
kind of like it
slightly.
a lot.
I like it. I don't like it a lot. I think the Punisher choice is like more costly than people think it is. Like as in like giving your opponent the choice is like much more impactful than people think it is.
Yeah, it's like not amazing to play after turn 2, I guess.
Yeah, and also
Is one way to put that.
sometimes you play it on turn 2 and then your opponent just goes like, "Great, I'll play like some random like death touch creature or whatever that will trade for it. Here, have 2 counters."
Yeah. And then it's just any other 2-drop, which is not great. But
Yeah.
yeah. I agree. I don't think it's like amazing, but I think it's like in my mind pretty comparable and a little bit better even than the graph ship. And because I was so confident I was in red, I was just like, let me take the non-spaceship card that is clear board impact and like roughly as strong in terms of rate. But again, I'm sort of like not really building any engines. I'm just kind of playing medium creatures.
Yep.
That's really what's going on here.
Okay, please take the Servandum.
Wait, really? Are you being super serious?
Yes, you have the black-white creature land.
Uh-huh. Isn't this just like just as strong of a card?
What? No. You
I'm
even
like
have
super high on interest in that again.
you even have a timeline caller. That card's so good with Fondom.
Timeline color. Oh, this.
Yeah.
Oh, because it like, yeah, I see. Hmm. I maybe was just, yeah, again, a little bit too locked into like, I'm a 2-color deck, and here's a premium uncommon for my 2-color deck. Okay, I will say, like,
Oh, I understand the
is
interceptor
kind of
mechanism. I understand it's a very strong card.
yeah. I do want to say that, like, I think it is at least arguable that it is the pick here because you don't want to be a splash deck in a format with very few tools for splashing. However, we do have like a couple tools.
Okay, calling this arguable is cowards talk.
Really? Okay, I'm actually pretty shocked that you're like so confident about this because I don't know.
You have
This
a
card is not
command.
great to cast on turn 5.
Yes, it is. You have a command bridge. You have a command bridge. You have a black-white creature land. The fact that it's a creature land is important also because it it gives you a second reward for having a white man in your deck. You have an orbital plunge. You have a beam saw prospector. You have a little bit of card flow. Like, I don't know. I think
Yeah, the thing I was thinking is it's not clear to me that Vondam is like a very splashable card. But maybe that's just wrong. Maybe it's just really, really strong.
Do you forget what happened last week?
I have not forgotten that. That was terrifying, I will admit. Maybe I just need to move up on Sir Vondam. I don't know. I don't know. I still think it's not trivial to pass up on this Interceptor Mechan for a card that we're planning on splashing. Agree to disagree, I think. And it's not that I'm strong disagreeing. I think I'm learning that I should be moving up on Vondam, but I do think the Interceptor Mechan is a defensible pick, is what I would say. More strong white cards and medium black cards.
Yeah, I mean, my ulterior motive with picking Sir Vondam is you can still play black whites.
Yeah, that is also the thing that's going on.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. You would have had 19. You would have had 20 black white cards. It was very easy for you to still play black white.
I think this is true, and I probably should have been more alert to that fact. Yeah, these white cards are just mostly better than the red cards I have access to. And even the red cards I have access to, I had pretty reasonable white cards I could have also taken.
Or over the Intimidator, you could have taken the black card, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know. You should probably take the Evangel here.
Yeah, I think I did.
I think you have enough. Wait, do you have enough sack things to take Evangel over random card? Maybe
Not
you have
really.
none. Okay, maybe not. I assumed you did, but I guess that might be false.
I actually might have been can I actually pull black white off still?
That's
on this
very
pick,
funny.
Which is pretty incoherent with this.
That's very, very funny.
Yeah.
I would just take
For what it's worth, I'm very happy that we're finding out that there were definitely ways that I messed this draft up in a pretty significant way. I'm actually curious now, just thinking about that, is there a path where we end up playing this use social engineering?
What? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So on the way back, right?
Totally.
We were thinking about that. So let's reconstruct this.
Okay, so you pick use social here.
Social.
Okay, next pick. Take Sammy's. There. I've done it. I've put you social engineering in your deck. Congratulations.
Okay, wait. But given that black-white was so clearly really open this entire draft, I don't know how much green we saw from that point forward.
Well, okay, no. So okay. To be clear, I would have gone. So you would have gone Rust Harvester, Trad, Desynchronize. Then you would take Usocial and Sammy's. So I have Usocial, Sammy's, and 2 black removal spells and a Rust Harvester. I'm now kind of disregarding the Rust Harvester because we're not seeing artifacts either. I would take the Focus Fire here.
Okay.
And then probably the Command Bridge. And then probably okay, best of three I would take Shattered Wings, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I would take another Focus Fire here. And I don't know, I'm in green white. And then you would take Lightsmith here. And then you would take Halia here. And then you would take Biomechan here. And then you would take Germinating Worm here. And then you would take Siege Ship Impact here. And then Fungal Colossus here. Focus Fire or Nutrient Block. Yeah, Hissing Quagmire. It would have been a very strong. I mean, obviously, things would have changed, but
right, not that much. And if anything, in the direction where it's more coherent. You've got like Gene here. There's lots of ways to make this work. Okay, that's really notable. I think I didn't see that very clearly. Okay, cool. So let's get back to where we were, just to finish it off. Oh no, that's not where we were. Where were we? Here. So I take Sunstar just because I'm like, I'm not going to play the Slightless Evangel. It's
You
not going
could
to be
you
good.
could take
Maybe I
second
just
Nebula
continue getting
Dragon
past
here.
great white cards. I probably need to be a little higher on Nebula Dragon. I think I'm just thinking of it as like very medium when
Mostly
seem higher on it than I
mostly
am.
you have like a couple ways to make lander, so you're like a little more land heavy, and it's just like nice. Like
Yeah.
you're just like, it's more likely that you hit your 7th land because you have both ways to make landers and some card draw.
Yep.
Contested Warzone, let's go now.
We talked about that one last time. I think we covered it fully. Just another beam saw.
Yeah.
I took this, which was wrong. Yeah, I was pretty much on autopilot here.
Moxite or Parody. I don't actually know which one's better. I'd have to process a little bit. Probably, I think I still like Moxite better. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I was underrating this as, like, I guess it's only really fuel for Rust Harvester. There's not a lot else that I'm doing with it besides the Evangel.
It triggers Void.
I guess it triggers these. Yeah, that's true.
It discards Timeline
Just to
Caller.
get it back. Yeah, okay. It does more than I was thinking.
4/5 reach. It's like the kind of card that like does things. Yeah, I guess you have like more than you usually.
I have like a Depressurize and a Tragic Trajectory. I'll be honest, I took this mostly just to collect data on like, is
Fair
it
enough.
fine in a deck that has basically just exactly Tragic Trajectory? But I agree that like it's probably not good. In fact, it like notably the data I collected was, yeah, it's not that good. If you
Fair
have
enough.
like not a ton of ways to support it. Next, I think I'm underrating the
It's like
Drill.
Yeah, that card's good.
Yeah. Took it here. I actually don't think I even ended up playing it. Take the removal spell. And yeah, we finish out with a Hull Carver. Another removal spell. We could have like very easily been black white or green white in this draft. Yeah. What did I even end up building? Just really quickly. Did I play? I didn't play the Nebula Dragon. Maybe should have. I played like double Hull Carver to make the Rust Harvester a little better. This deck is just like super duper not doing anything great.
Yep.
Is how I would put it.
Yep.
And that's how it played out in the games. I just like curved out and then lost because my opponents had like better engines.
Yep.
So this was a very useful draft log. I'm very happy to see that like, oh, there really was a different path.
Just trust in the green.
Right, yeah, that's actually the thing. Is like I think I might need to just draft with preferences more, or draft with like envisioning strong decks that I've already drafted or know how to draft, and like can actually get into lanes and help.
My actual advice from this is just like, don't settle. Don't settle for something that's not that good.
And I think what I like probably have done too much in my drafts generally, like probably at the PT level 2, is I'm too satisfied with consistent 2-color curve out decks, like that aren't really doing anything special. This was my blue black deck, if you remember that one at PT Final Fantasy, the last one. Like it was just a collection of strong game and hand win rate blue and black cards, basically, which wasn't like a strong deck exactly. It was just a good collection of limited cards that did curve out and like did that consistently.
Draft by numbers, if you will.
Games, but yeah, exactly. And finding ways to like make these coherent like decks is part of what I'm trying to get out of like streaming this with you, going over more of my logs, finding the ones that were unsuccessful, and just like finding the paths that I could have taken that like gave me more agency over actually building like a strong deck. So thank you for going through this.
Yeah.
I also thought the first draft we did was interesting, and this one was like very different in a lot of ways. So that was cool too.
Yeah. Love a good log review. With that said,
Next time, I think we'll do probably like an actual draft. We'll do like
Yeah.
one log and drafts.
we probably I don't think I'm way too sleepy to do a real draft right now on stream.
Totally. I also want to go to bed.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to bed. I'm just sleepy. But
I'm
anyways,
definitely going to bed.
thank you all for watching. We'll be back next week, hopefully. Presumably.
Yeah, I'm
and
around. And
yeah.
I'll be doing a lot more drafts this week.
Let's see. Where is somewhere to raid? It's very unclear. Ooh, maybe I could declare declare chaos and raid not magic. That's probably a bad idea.
Ooh.
What if I did though? CFC's not here to complain at me for doing that.
Let me see. What magic channels are live? There really aren't many. There's like the Ham, Jim Davis, although Jim's not playing magic, it looks like.
Wait,
We could compromise a magic streamer who's not playing magic.
indeed. Let's raid. Maybe I'll just like pick a random person to raid.
It's fun.
Right, that I'm trying to find the right tab to do the raid. Okay, I'm gonna send everyone over to. It's just Young Ningo is his name. Yeah, enjoy the modern challenge, which is very different from draft, but is also a PT format. You. Thank you
I
all
guess
for
I
watching.
gotta go back to playing Serious Modern this week.
Yeah,
Oh,
I need to
boy.
play more
Thanks for
modern.
watching, y'all.
Bye. Oh, you can check
Bye.
out Ryan's socials in various places. Did I make a command? Nope, that's the wrong
We'll
guess.
do it next time.
Also, check out Nicole's
socials anyway.
Yeah. Oh, right. I should upload the last two VODs to YouTube. I'll make sure to do that sometime, either tonight or tomorrow. But yeah, you can find our VODs there.
Good night, y'all.
Bye.
Thanks for hanging. Bye.